going to be a 3-on-2 Maiden and Sticko. A chance to win this with the AK. They can't recover the AWP.
Have they locked the doors, though? Is that flank coming in? Oh, it has, and it's dupreeh, and he's just no more than locked the door. He's thrown a Molotov in there before he closed it. That's going to be 7-3, and a fantastic pickup to keep Astralis running, well, away with it. We got the scores on your doors here. It's 13 for Zipex. He's delivering in buckets and spades, especially considering the context of his tweet we presented in that pre-show. Really unhappy with his team's performance in their opening game, and looks like individually he's back in business.
Round 11. Crystal with the Mac 10, but that'll be absolutely fine. He's one of those more selfless players, making sure his starts have the weaponry required. Mac 10's still a very viable weapon, but what can the M4 do here? Apparently a lot. The bomb goes down. Zipex on for a third kill here, just mowing them down. The HE follows it up as well. A pretty underwhelming mid attempt there from GODSENT. You don't really want to be rushing middle. It's such a tight choke point, and the standard is to drop the incendiary at the initial corner. They're going to have to smoke it, take vision away, which means you're segregated at that point. You can't trade efficiently. Rushing middle for me just isn't a thing. You have to be more coordinated. You have to wait for the initial grenades, go together with a bit more pressure towards B as well to go for a split. As you can see, great stuff from Zipex here, but they're isolated with that smoke. That's the problem. They're coming through a grey screen. They've had to extinguish the Molotov at the start. Mid rushes, not really a thing in my opinion.
Oh, did they maybe boost Glaive up, or we'll see. Actually, we've got Skybox.
Yeah, sorry guys. I've got it working. We've got it working. This is what I wanted to show you with that round, right? So we're going to go down here towards the B bomb site where we're going to see this boost get assembled. So one player's going to jump up on the top pallet, and then one's going to be a little bit lower to act as stairs for Crystal to be able to get on top of his head, right? So you're about to see this go on down from the little Jenny on top of the first player. And he's going to be looking down so he cannot be spotted when he jumps on up. Now we're going to change the camera angle. Now check this out. This individual will face, and then he jumps up and can swarm the B defender and then rolling into the bomb site. And that's how they were able to get on there so quickly. So let's get back into it.
That's what we are waiting for. That's beautiful Counter-Strike there. I really like that a lot. We said they're a team that's done their homework and work hard on the theory side of things, and that's coming to full effect.
Yeah, and you know what? It's even more spicy because we just spoke to coach of Astralis, Zonic, who the words came out of his mouth of it's very hard to innovate on Vertigo. Well, GODSENT certainly have managed to find something to catch around, but it is only one of their 3 at this point in time. I remind you at this juncture that T-side is often expected to be coming out with a lead. Favored on this map and looking so good. This Astralis CT side are just turrets, taking it in turns for ridiculous multi-kills. I'm going to double check the multi-kill tally because I'm sure that is looking rather absurd in favor of the Great Danes. 9-3.
They're starting to run away with it now though, aren't they? This one is stretching their legs a bit right here.
No one's really stepping up for the GODSENT side of things. Remember, the only access they've had into the game so far was that pistol victory, which equated to 2 more rounds after that. Since then, they haven't had much to say. We talked about the double AWP potential of the Astralis. Now it's coming to full effect. dupreeh performing very well with the sniper rifle, currently on 14 kills and 7 deaths. Device with 7, but they haven't been challenged too much in the last few rounds. They're looking very comfortable out there. Michael 3-10. He said this map isn't his. And I guess that should be reflected maybe in his purchases. If the AWP's not working for him, this would probably be the time to pull the cord and just say, I'll go back to the rifle.
Yeah, the stats really do back up just how comfortable it's been for Astralis. I'm taking a look at the multi-kill rounds. dupreeh with that last spray down on B is at 5 multi-kill rounds already here at round 13. 4 for Zipex, 3 for Magisk. And as the early frags do get exchanged, you'll see that Glaive's back to his usual antics on A. It's something you talked about.
So, a 4-on-4, the AWP has been removed though. We'll see what the final play is here from GODSENT. B hasn't been all too forgiving for them. Crystal holds for the potential flank, and it's going to be Maiden isolated alone, taken by the Glaive there again. So he's trying to create some space. He's trying to find any sort of hole in the defense he can, get towards the CT spawn area, towards elevators. But if it doesn't work out and he gets nothing for it, if anything, it's just a hindrance to the team. It doesn't do much at all. Device that we talked about, his A-round presence, he's always going to be around this sort of area. They're going to have to challenge at the same time. Probably going to lose one player in this particular situation, but the idea is try and trade him out if possible. Fortunately, Device gets 1, looking comfortable. Sicko might lose the bomb here. Device will just get out.
Uncharacteristic miss, but yeah, look at that. Just immediately knows that the calculated decision is with a miss shot like that, you've got to find a fresh angle. He has managed to evade the spray. Can he avoid the bottle flame as well?
The problem with that is, Alex, he's Molotov towards short there. There's 18 seconds remaining. That's going to be 7 seconds. They can't access that part. There's going to be a lot of pressure here. Glaive's got to smoke down. There's no doubt in my mind he gets a couple of kills here. Well, apparently I would be dead wrong. It's going to be Device to try and save the day. 8 seconds remaining here. Incendiary is just perfect. Sticko knows he can't win the round anymore. They'll have to fall back, and there it is. Time runs out. He'll get no extra cash, and 2 players survive for Astralis.
All right, guys, we're going to jump into Skybox again. I just want to show you a bit of a harassment of utility that was going on here. So you're about to see the smoke bounce off the pillar. It's going to land here for the CTs. The pick's going to go on. Glaive's going to glaive at the top, as we've been talking about. But check this out from the angle of the Ts down here in the forklift room. So much harassment of nades. Molotovs, HE's going here. That nade missed. There's flashes. They want to pick. The Ts have actually had to drop their own smoke here because they're under so much threat that they need to be able to fall on back. The CTs just wanted to go for kills. They're able to pick one up, and that's a lot of utility damage right there.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Chad. Aggressive in middle this time from the CTs of Astralis. Glaive, an unusual presence that they're not quite used to, not accustomed to. Magisk has been typically standing his ground solo, but now mixing it up on the CT side. Change of plans, though. What on earth is the cue for that? Someone's asked for help.
Compromised by at best here. 2 smokes, a few flashes. Device. This looks so comfortable at that A ramp. It means they can really focus towards middle. The boost toward the boxes, though. Raiden, he's great at hitting the headshots, but they're not being too fantastic at closing out these rounds. That's a good pick. They take down Zipex, and Mage is still with the AK-47, holding towards the CT side here. Drops the Incendiary to disallow entrance towards the elevators. But he actually had a gap in the smoke there, so he was maybe overzealous with the deployment of the Incendiary, but still it buys time.
And if I was taking a list of smokes you can't mess up, that's one of them. You really cannot afford to because it loses all of its potency.
Yep. Any gaps in there is a massive problem. So is the double kill. They're both in the window of their bums exposed. We're going to have Makaleli and Maiden taken down, and Glaive looks like he's hungry for a few more here. The aggro gets taken from Dupree. A very convincing finish there. After losing their first pick, they don't drop a single player after that.
Yeah, another multi-kill added to the list. It's getting plentiful.
I'm not seeing the same killer instinct from GODSENT. Though. They get that pick there, and they seem that they're not sure what to do with it next. They've got 2 players going towards window and sitting there, their backs turned towards B. Were they waiting for a flashbang? I'm not sure the play was there, but it's just not working for them.
Just something to note, when we kicked off the segment, there was the match history graphic. These 2 teams have never played each other. Astralis is not ranked right now as the #1 team in the world, but as far as everybody's concerned, the scariest team in the world, right? So these guys right here probably have maybe a little bit of fear in their hearts here as they do try and run up the A ramp and take a faster round. They will be pushed on back, split on up, and taken one by one as they find themselves in a 3, to make that a 2-on-5 situation as Glaive will find yet another kill, continues to push forwards, tries his luck jumping, and, well, they're just going to maul them there to close out with a 12-3.
Yeah, brutal stuff. 12 rounds for Astralis. GODSENT. They've got the CT side, perhaps able to manufacture something, but it feels like Astralis, they're going into the T side of Virgo. It is going to be comfortable. We'll see if they can close it out cleanly when we return. you call it, stampede of sorts?
The galloping T's making their way through. And now Sticko, P2000 in hand. They'll take a Glock to the face, unfortunately, and we're going to have the smoke execution come through. They still have a Molotov for post plant and another smoke as well. This is kind of insane. So the plant will come through. They're just getting it right on the edge as well. That's really idyllic, to be honest with you. It's going to be difficult to defuse that one. They have got a kit, but no smoke on the CT side now. As we'll see the Molotov land toward the boost box. It's a nightmare for Michael. But they have got a kill, a chance here. They're finding multiple frags. What's happened?
All of them. Makalele finds a double. Zipex, he's rolling his eyes. And now a chance for Dupree, but it's so small. He would have to tap away at Maiden's head. And now GODSENT take it, despite all the best efforts.
It was looking great there. There wasn't even a similar sort of retake mentality we saw in the previous game with 2 smokes coming through. This was just clean headshots. A couple through the smokes by the looks of things here, but nice work from Michael. A guaranteed victory there, and it looked like a guaranteed round for Astralis, to be honest with you.
Just check this out, guys. So they were setting up for a retake, just not with the same level of utility, right? So we're about to see a smoke get dropped just here, and as that smoke goes down, Glaive throws this Molotov so they can re-aggress and fight. The idea is not to lose a round in a similar fashion as to what we saw when it was going down with NIP, right? You see this. They want to fight here, but GODSENT just hit better shots. So let's get back in the action.
Yeah, and the action continues on B. Just immediately, Zen's been dissuaded from fighting.
No force fight, just to know this is an eco. They'll be bringing out the AKs and maybe not even the Kriegs. Apparently staying away from those. They're just joining us. Zonic said they're at least planning on not purchasing Kriegs with this series, due to the fact they don't want to give it to the defense and give them the advantage, which makes a lot of sense. And to be honest, like the Krieg, as powerful as it is, there's still a few players out there that are missing kills in the back with the weapon, because you can see they're not quite as well versed as others with it.
I think the idyllic setup for a team, considering just how powerful we've seen it recently in CT hands, is when you've got a specialist. I think the investment, it would be like, I don't think Fnatic should ever tell Brolin not to buy a Krieg, but I do think the majority, perhaps there's real merit to that.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation for sure.
Yeah, really. This one, however, should be GODSENT starting to build what will be a long and arduous task of coming back here on Vertigo. Advantage for them here, of course, just the unarmored Desert Eagles and Zipex running out of health.
The thing that worries me here is we still have 40 seconds left on the clock, and they have a lot of mid-territory. Sure, they don't have any kills just yet, but knowing how quickly this can snowball, if Dupree doesn't go down and Zipex finds a kill while he's searching out there in middle, they might start rotating around. Well, there's the kill I was talking about.
So satisfying to see those Deagle headshots Dupree often delivers, but Magisk will go down. He was one of the healthiest, and now Zipex, all that patience is not going to be for much. Dupree just elephanting his way in, and another headshot. He loves the chaos, does Dupree, and a nade of bullets heading his way. He just throws the bomb in celebration of his death. Round 18.
So this is where we kind of find out what approach Astralis wants to go with, right? We've seen teams just go for the standard working towards A. Maybe on the T side of GODSENT, they were doing more conditioning towards middle, trying to get that toolbox control and then letting Madden off the leash like we saw earlier in GODSENT's run so far within the Pro League. Let's see if Astralis have a different showing here. They do have so many rounds to work with, so there's no need to pull out anything too crazy.
Bombs down for now. Suggests it won't be anything too fast-paced. Just showing some basic tendencies towards the A side of things. Beta utilities and Crystal will potentially deliver at HE. They're going to try and get 2 of them down there towards that bottom corner. Doesn't connect, but confirms that position should be clear at least. We'll see Zipex here at the bottom of the ramp. No one towards B right now. All 5 players for Astralis are on this side of the map, apart from Dupree. I beg your pardon, he is there.
I think those Deagle kills have got him really feeling comfortable on the crosshair at this point. Those solo missions can be very problematic, especially when there's such a heavy disadvantage in terms of weaponry. Zen's got to try and win this out with his utility and his information as opposed to the MP9. Oh, Sticko. Lucky to only be posting 40 damage dealt.
So, time ticking away. Dupree still towards B, trying to bait out the utility, just be a nuisance at this stage. Little gap in the smoke there. Sticko trying to exploit it with his scout. Let's see whether this can be done. 40 seconds. Very quiet for now. 3 terrorist players waiting outside the A bomb site. Sticko will do very well with the scout to find multiple kills. Good smoke at the 30-second mark. Should buy them some time, but here comes the execution of Astralis. Objective to get the bomb down as quickly as possible, but a lot of damage inflicted. Crystal will go down, and Michael Ellie's on the scene of the crime.
considering a flank, but Glaive does manage to deal with one on the boost. Magis does get that bomb down in the process, and this is fast becoming an impossible task for GODSENT. The smokes are still in play, which enables Astralis to dig themselves into their after-plant positions. It does seem like they're actually relatively willing to take some active fights.
This is safe territory for me right now, considering everything. But they have got a decent amount of cash going forward, I suppose. Sticko is still in position, but it looks like they're in a lot of trouble. We'll see what can be done. Zen will have to step up. Glaive is taking them down one by one. Sticko, he'll be stuck in the corner at this point, just trying to stay alive. It doesn't look like that'll be successful. If he can take one player down with him, that would be something. Deagle headshot doesn't connect. It's a very clean round from Astralis. Gets them 13 on the board. Money and a bit of disarray here for GODSENT. 1,600 for Zen, 1,500 for Maiden. Similar story for Crystal and Sticko there. So a partial buy by looks of things with the Deagle purchase from Michael Ailey. Are they going to allow this one to go 14-5?
That's the problem, right? When you're so far down on your map choice here and it feels hopeless, not buying right now feels almost like conceding defeat.
Here we go. Maiden's fully invested, but everyone else has to join him, really. Otherwise, it's all in vain.
There you go. Look, I don't mind this because the map at this point must already feel quite lost. You know, as a player, you always think you can win, but you need a miracle round like this on the board. You've been getting battered. You haven't really had too many highlights in this game thus far. 5 rounds on the board, there's not too much to be smiling about. So maybe a forced by a miracle round from one of the younger players could do something to get them fired on up here. But look, they're all individually spread out. This comes down to, like, it comes down to somebody hitting shots.
Yeah.
That's all this comes down to. There's no nuance here, there's no tactics behind it. They're not forcing Astralis around the map. This one here, ladies and gentlemen, is probably done. We will be moving on to Inferno, which is the next one. Very swiftly. But I know people don't like it, Henry, when you say round's over after 3 people.
They hate that. I don't know why everyone hates
it.
that. Like, if you disagree with me, just disagree with me. That's perfectly fine.
And also,
I am not in control of anything here. I merely give my opinion.
And also, if you say the round's over and it is like a 2v5 situation, and then they win that 2v5,
That's always what
doesn't
I
that
say.
kind of put like
That's the point,
round into context?
Yeah,
of
exactly.
They should not lose this situation.
This kind of punctuates the fact that it was an impossible scenario that someone's done something ungodly to get into it.
Please, I'm citing the 2015 Titan vs Renegades, man.
14-5, Zipex will close things out, and at this point, the perfect game is required from GODSENT. They've got $2,000 for 2 players to make it happen. This is why I say you need to keep your money equal across the board, as now you're even in a worse position. You're going to have rifles, MP9s, and pistols. I guess it's still winnable this round, but would have preferred everyone to have a rifle. As we get into round 20, it's not looking like GODSENT's pick. As you can see at the top right, really is going out too well for them. Inferno next. Astralis is home turf. And we'll see Device with the AWP on the T side for now. They've got such a massive advantage. Should be map point here. But time will tell. Anything can and will happen in Counter-Strike.
Ooh. Maiden and Sticko were both on those boxes. Was interested to know if there was a stack nade they had in store. Towards the scaff, perhaps? Good flash. Forces Macaulay to tuck in, and upon re-peeking, he has a chance at the spray, but this is looking all too similar to the 14 rounds that have gone the way of Astralis. Another quick opening, and this time spread across the map. CT's scarpering to cover the ground lost.
Oh, the bomb's still down, so they really have no idea where this one's ending up. GODSENT, that is. It is hoping they can stick together and form something out of nothing. Smoke towards the top of the B stairs. And at this point, a minute on the clock. Not really much has to be done. Astralis, no. Information needs to be gathered on the GODSENT side of things. Waiting for these mistakes to come through. And the commitments, there's the first one. Dupree in towards that quad position. Molotov down. They should make their way towards B at this stage, considering he's got such a prominent position.
So just one thing I want to note here with this Astralis game that we're watching today is the individuals seem up to take fights that maybe are a little bit uncharacteristic, which is good because once you get into, let's say, the ring of online Counter-Strike, people are obviously more comfortable in that environment. When Astralis are at home, they're normally just playing, you know, maybe an average practice match. Yeah. That's when they're actually at their least prepared, I would say. Whereas for some of these teams who have had to battle through the online realms over the last couple of years to even make a name for themselves, that's where they've been the most comfortable. So Astralis, a major grand final with thousands of people cheering and a lot on the line, that's when they do their best work. Coming into this knowing that, hey, maybe we do need to be a little bit more confident, a little bit more aggressive, show that we can fight just as good, we're just as good individually. I like that approach here.
It's a convincing round for Astralis, and I think we might be done here, boys. That was the full investment. They saved an M4. Gonna need 10 rounds in a row at this point just to take us to overtime. On their map pick, that does not bode well for the series whatsoever. As we get into round number 21, we'll have a look at this little stat here. Astralis in-game leader Glaive is farming stats with 120 plus ADR and 80% of opening duels won thus far.
It's quite nice.
We said he has been struggling with his individual performance of late, so that's going to be a nice way to boost his confidence. Currently sat on 22 and 11. Lovely stuff from him, and a lovely game from Astralis, and it should be concluded right here, right now.
Yeah, and talking of opening duels, just to add additional context to that, he has a 75% conversion rate, but that's with 6 duels taken, so that's significant. Very tippy top of the number of opening duels taken for his squad. Will this be the end for GODSENT? They do take that early mid with the MP9s, but no one's home.
The old MP9 mid strategy. We've all tried it. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. This time didn't land.
Did Zipex just do a walking jump underarm flash? The difficulty level on that is absurd.
Nightmare mode.
Well, I would not want to be attempting that one, that's for sure.
Oh, here we go, though. Couple of kills coming in. And they've done significant damage towards Device and Dupree. It's never clean cut. You don't see many blowouts these days. But there's a potential frag that's opening up the B site. And the other players are towards A right now. You can see it's Sticker rotating in. He has made it through, but that kill might decide their fate. There's smoked Molotovs available and Dupree shots at the AWP. It is going to be 16-5. Michael Ailey, although he does have a chance of winning this, I'd say his options are very limited. There we have it, 16-5, ladies and gentlemen. Astralis looking very comfortable, stretching their legs out there on Vertigo on the map pick of GODSENT. And I have to say, Glaive stepping up, goes above and beyond for his teammates there. And we're moving on to Inferno next. GODSENT need to wake up if they're going to stand a chance against the world's best. over, looking for multiple kills towards the ruin position. Flashbangs being deployed, and Dupree, you said it, Chad, they look a bit more active today. They're up for these frags in these online games as Dupree continues to find headshot after headshot with a Glock. A low HP player on his right should be able to find him no problem, but still, Sticko alive here. How? Finally, the round comes to its logical conclusion. Great round from Astralis there. Good little default at the start, waiting for the aggression. We talked about it earlier in the week. A lot of teams are rushing middle on the CT side of these pistols. They just waited to see what they're up against, see what there is, and then go for the B execution. As Chad said, coffins towards smoke, CD spawn, and the plant as well is just genius. I love the play from GODSENT to have those nades, but the fact they plant there, really impressive.
Interesting to see 4 SMGs picked up on that T side. Just the one Galil.
This is very potent though, right? Let's just go over what the CTs have. If Sticko gets tags, grenades can instantly take players down, same as all the pistols. Smokes to delay choke points. Let's see how a world-class team like Astralis deals with getting stalled out.
Let's see if they do get stalled out, because it doesn't look like Dupree's interested. He just wants to get into the nitty and the gritty. They're holding W. And in pursuit of the very same, already Zipex gets one, and it's chaos on Makalele's screen. And just like that, the round is lost.
What can he do against that? That's why they've got the SMGs out there. The MAC-10, it's up there in terms of how much it costs and what you can do with it in these sort of rounds. As long as you coordinate together, it's scary. As we'll see, the Desert Eagle connects. It might be too late at this point as the bomb goes down. They still have 2 smokes, 4 flashes on the T side. And of course, no kits available. Might be better off to saving the Deagle armor combo here, especially with the helmets and smoke. Zipex, though, he wants to make sure that no one leaves alive. Locking them in. Dupree, happy to push the issue a little bit further as well, considering he has the MAC-10. $600 per kill with this weapon, and he seems to be aware of Maiden's position. Apparently not.
Lovely. Express delivery, and another one for Zen as well. He's going to be pocketing an extra $300 on that kill onto Glaive. Happy boy. Second for Astralis.
They've got a Galil and a MAC-10. So traditionally, you wouldn't buy into this round, but you might be tempted. It might be the opposite word there, because he could buy a FAMAS here, drop the Galil, and they've killed 4 players in that previous round. There's definitely a conversation to be had about a buy here, and we'll see what they've gone for. So a light investment, which is probably the best point of approach, to be
Maiden
honest.
actually had his Desert Eagle from before as well, so he's just chosen to throw Makalele his MAC-10.
I wouldn't have hated a buy here, but it's so high risk. Like, that could be the map in itself. You give that round up, and you've got no money for the rest of the half against Astralis, you could be done.
And judging by the Vertigo CT side, they struggled even against, with full weapons.
They should be playing their standard game here. Yeah. They should be aiming for the full buys, get the AWP out, have all the utility, not hamstrung at the start of each round. Good shot from Glaive, though, continues that strong form as Dupree. He looks like he's been let off the leash today. He's just up for it. He's going around trying to show that he's still got it. He's not in a bad slump or anything like that right now. He's actually just looking ferocious on the server.
No, I don't know what he had in his weak spots this morning. He has looked really honed in on that crosshair. I do want to point out Makalele's death. It's such a demoralizing way to go down. He was tucked in on the corner boiler, and the Molotov just forced him out into the open as 2 players were pushing in with a teammate's flashbang. That's a quick way to isolate a 1-on-3, essentially, for Astralis. Now heading towards an open B site. This will be a free round, and therefore we can start talking about trampolines again if you want.
I liked that. That was probably my favorite segment of the year.
Yeah?
The trampolines, yeah.
Did I ever tell you I went to trampolining after school, like an actual lesson,
yeah, so
professional lessons?
Yeah, I did that up until my 3rd year of university. I was still going.
Wow, maybe Henry, we've got like a backup in competitive trampolining or something.
I feel like there might be competitive trampolining we can get involved more. Maybe like kind of more of a street version is cool, and everyone's wearing like designer clothes and bouncing around, and like there's tricks and cool shoes.
All it takes is one hypebeast brand that's, trampolining streetwear.
Yeah.
And then the whole world will be ablaze.
Okay. Well,
Kanye West making trampolining shoes.
Trapezes.
Oh, you did so much better than me.
What did you say?
Nothing. Trapeze, that's the one.
Trampezes, that was what I'd go for. But either way, there it is, the round over. And it will be an AK save. It could be 3-0 for Astralis on the T side of their map pick. Off to a flying start, to say the very least. And this is where things get a little bit more interesting. You've still got that MAC-10 and Inferno, definitely keep it. Why not? Need to build that money up. You've got a couple of players with helmets out there, Sticko and Crystal. We'll see whether these Galils, MAC-10s and AKs are enough. Remember, Chad, they're not buying Kriegs this series. They've said that, and they're sticking to their guns, quite literally.
So far, so far. Let's see.
You seem doubtful.
No, it's but look, I think why deny yourself such a potent weapon when you just schooled them on the last map, right? Like you right now want to act that you're better. I guess that you don't want to give them a tool of destruction. I understand that. Oh, they're being very safe about all these.
We used to do this in Source. I understand why you don't do it in CSGO. Like that was the only way to get up there quietly in Source. We had to do that. But finally seeing it in CSGO, did he not see?
He went unchecked.
He was flashed.
Wait. Who did not see what?
Crystal was blind.
Know?
Yeah, Crystal doesn't know, but he'll hear it. And now Glaive's coming in with his nade in his hand. This could be a brutal round win. Just like this, Crystal's going to win the round. First on the board for GODSENT if he does it right, but instead he bides his time just a little too long. He knows another has passed. The nade avoided by Device, and so now he's actually kind of under the most unique and weird scrutiny. The CT is now defending Banana. It's a role reversal. Maiden comes from behind. Crystal's being Molotov'd out, will be sprayed down. The transfer does not connect. Now Maiden is the one to take control of the round, and this one has managed to stabilize. GODSENT will secure it.
What a weird round that was. Respect to Crystal as well. Nerves of steel, like twice. He did that on Vertigo as well. Let's Players walk past him, trying to get the most out of the round. He only gets one kill, but like you said, he pretty much wins the round single-handedly with that play. Lovely setup here. Maiden's not going to miss this shot. Or maybe he will. Zipex, great stuff to actually get them back into the round here, potentially. But Zen, nice position, Major throw, and a great shot from him. This is a high-level game so far.
Yeah, these trades are coming in so quick. Just taps.
I like this. Michael Ailey, be careful, my friend.
Gets the info. That's something.
Does he jump back up and challenge? Would have liked it, but no chance with the HE and AK combo coming through. The first round on the board for GODSENT almost fell apart towards the end there.
We're about to jump into Skybox here and just see what went down. So this is Crystal's position down here. He's actually gone into their smoke. The flash has gone on over, right? And you can see right here, Device is not worrying about it all because he's pushing through his own sided smoke. So he's going to push on in. It didn't look like Crystal was blind in this situation there. The flash icon didn't come up on his head, so maybe he was aware, but it didn't look like it when we caught it from his POV during the game. So let's get back into the action.
Speaking of his POV, we've got it down on the bottom left there. You can see gets that first kill, and that was Device slipping behind the half wall that made things just a little more awkward. But it's all resulted in the end. They find the resolution they were looking for.
1024, Blackfires.
I knew someone was going to do it. Vibrance? Where's the Vibrance at? You got digital Vibrance on a 200%?
I do 100%, just a cheeky one. I really like that.
Some players do, like, they do both at the same time. You double layer it, and it just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, it's when you have a stream PC or digital Vibrance on as well. Like, it doubles down. It's pretty insane. Evo Crystal, he's in a lot of trouble here, as Majors will find him. Now there's one player waiting towards the B side. What a player it is, Maiden. Look how active he's being right now. He knows he has to pull a frag back here. Majors is low. Spotted him jump towards the half wall now. Trying to pull that frag back. He's got an HE picked up from the ground. Could throw that towards logs. That'd be a guaranteed frag if he got it in there. Does he know? Is he aware? Pushing down now. Device. I was about to say not necessarily ready for it, but this is Device we're talking about. Michael Ailey would hit a hell of a shot here. Will he get back? He won't, and that could be the round. Smoke down towards spawn. One transitioning player in the form of Zen, but the bomb will be planted momentarily, and you might be better off to saving the two rifles here. Time will tell if Zen can do anything about this.
The more I sit here and talk about this video game with you guys, the more you see the importance of, in particular, frags. Magisk getting that trade and not letting Makaleli reset onto B essentially wins the round. It's like that 5-second decision of Magisk and his spray control was just enough to win the round.
Makaleli's got like a 2-second window to get out of there. He jumps, he knows it's going to be right down to like a couple of bullets, and he didn't quite make it, and that is the round. If he stays alive, he could potentially hold it all angle, deny them access, but it wasn't meant to be. That's what a trade essentially is all about. If they get a kill on you, you need to have good spacing so your teammates can make up for and compensate for the deficit you've actually encountered there. So 4-1, not a full reset in this current patch of the game, of course, but money's still not great. Sticker could drop an AWP, but they really wanted to swing for the fences here, but Michael Ailey's not really in the form to suggest that would be my call, at least. He was bottom in terms of frags and ADR. We already interviewed him before this. He said he's not really feeling it with the AWP on some maps. I wanted to say it didn't look like he was feeling it generally. But it was a bit awkward on the phone, you know, he couldn't say that. Couldn't say it to his face. Certainly.
Got to find that comfort level. I mean, it's very hard to find comfort when you're up against Astralis. Even the world's best have felt the wrath.
And just to know, I've been singing his praises this year. Yes. I thought I had like a GG bet. I challenged, like he looked amazing. I was saying how great he was. It was just a rough couple of weeks for him.
Acknowledges himself, some weaknesses for now. Does seem like Dupree, once again, is up to his usual tricks with that MAC-10. Very happy to pick up the SMG when he knows he's going up against a more squishy opponent. This is a bit of a weird one. Glaive in the smoke. He's got a shooting gallery. Transfers into Maiden, but the pillar keeps him still alive for now. Won't be able to retrieve the rifle because Device and Zipex have filled the void on brackets. And another round in the bag for Astralis.
They don't need these kills, but my God, do they ever want to find them? They're going to be spraying towards the corner here. They give one more up. It's Dupree with the MAC-10 to close things out. He can pick up an AK-47 or the... Oh, there it is.
There we go.
It looks like an AWP.
Got a CZ in the mix as well.
A little cheeky CZ.
Or CZ.
CZ, as I would say.
Sorry, that's my fault. I do that.
CZ rolls
It's just so much easier, yeah.
CZ sounds cool, though.
Really cool. The D just really makes the transfer to whatever's coming after it a bit more laborsome. Cumbersome is an actual word. Laborsome. Laborsome isn't.
I'm going to make up a word right now.
My brain is real quick to make them up. Dictionary of Alex.
How's Krieg Watch going?
Krieg Watch is
no
0.
No, and CTs, they're struggling out there. They're like, where are the Kriegs at? Why can't we get stuck in with this?
Yeah, it's true. Sticko's probably normally playing his position with one by this point.
So Michael Ellie does have the AWP again, doubles. I don't like this
setup. This is an all-in.
I don't like this one. It either goes like you get one kill or you lose both. That's actually a defeat, I would say. You've lost a player and it ends down to 40 or 4-4 in Inferno. Definitely favors the T side. It's one of those maps, so it's very difficult to transition between the bomb sites and you're spread thin in a 4-4. Maiden, good for one kill in this position, I would say. If that, Dupree will take him down. And this is going to be a very difficult hold. Remember, Zen now alone towards A, who's already been tagged down to 40 HP with no utility to speak of. They've got CT spawn under lock and key with Glaive just holding them there. Doesn't even need kills necessarily, just presence in CT spawn is enough. If they smoke out CT spawn themselves, that is just like almost admitting defeat at this point. It's like, all right, we're just going to stay in B, you guys have A and go deal with that low HP player.
But look at the bomb! Zen's going to get caught by Magisk here.
There's nothing they can do. Like, this is a stomping in this round. They've just been wrecked.
Makalele is going to be scarpering down Banana with his AWP. Glaive, I think, is all too aware of where that presence will come from the CTs, and they're already tucked in on Boiler as well. Full apartment side of A, full A site, and the round is going to be going away out of Astralis.
This looks close, I guess, if you were at that. I was only a 3-on-2, Henry. What are you talking about? The fact they're having to smoke out CD spawn themselves, like, that is so insane. Like, I haven't casted that before. Like, there's so much pressure all over the map. You're trying to just hold on to the B-bomb site, even though you know they're going A.
Just keeping their... themselves.
Like you're basically saying to Zen at that point, like, good luck. We're not going to be part of this whatsoever.
It's like, you know, the apocalypse is going on and you're just closing the door as he's running towards it. Sorry, mate.
Good luck, bro. You'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
You'll make it. He didn't, spoiler. The double stack towards apartments, Chad. So I don't like it myself. Do you want to explain like why it exists? Why teams do deploy that?
Yeah, look, Halls is a position that you need to show a little bit of presence on, but doubling down like that, normally you would be looking for teams who are doing, you know, contact plays. You're not looking to that position to set up early. I would want to be more postured towards like top mid jiggle peeking and have a guy jiggle peeking end of Halls, because they were the only two players on the A bomb site, right? So you want to be able to smoke and delay. If both players in Halls, nobody's watching mid early.
Bear in mind as well that peak with the AK-47 coming through, the fact that you need a double ding to even take him down. As we just saw, the AK, if you both hit the headshot, he's going to get the kill. Yeah. And the fact he got damage on the second as well, that they got nothing from that. If you had a Krieg in that position perhaps, or an AK itself, I wouldn't mind it too much. Or an AWP M4 setup would be nice. 2 M4s, I don't think's the one, I'll be honest with you. But there it is, that is the one. Device opening things up, takes down Michael Ailey, who was at the top of middle. I'm not sure if he had the AWP. Well, the fact Zen's picked it up confirms it. But they have pulled a kill back. And another one. It's going to actually be the first advantage they've had in some time here. A 4 versus 3, but lots of utility and HP remaining for these 3 players of Astralis.
So I just went back and quickly had a look at the round. They were forced off of holding top middle by a Molotov from Astralis to quad, and then they had to drop on back and double holes. But nobody from the B bomb site in that previous round rotated over quickly enough to kind of plug that gap. So them moving into halls was a defensive maneuver based off of already being flushed off of middle. However, the rotation was a little bit lacking, and losing that kill just left Zen on an absolute island. But yeah, in this round right now, this is still very winnable for Astralis.
Well, with just Maiden in that emo spot. He does have the rotated crystal coming in with his FAMAS, but Maiden will be checked by Device now. Wins the duel. That's huge. And a second onto Zipex. Just the tip of his beret showing. And he still manages to take it off. A third as well. Maiden, we talked about him being the star of the GODSENT show, and he single-handedly makes that second round appear.
Yeah, great stuff from Maiden there. Gets a 7th frag. Absolutely solid towards the B side of the map. Astralis finally showing some weakness here with the replay of Maiden. Emo hold as he manages to spray them down the M4. They could better recover some AKs now as well, which makes them a lot stronger. Let's see how many they've got. So Sticko, the AK-47, same story for Crystal, and Maiden's got an AK as well. So they don't have the Kriegs, but trust me, AK on the CT side is very strong indeed. They should be able to string a few rounds together, at least they need to at this stage. We said it's not as CT-sided anymore, but against Astralis and their pick, you got to be wanting to win the half. Like, an 8-7 scoreline against you, like, that still would not look very good at all.
Look at that.
No, Zen, you got it.
Zen.
Got to hit those. But well, I guess they bring it back, but stick on a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, I'm worried about Sticko's survival. They're even just throwing flashes at him. He is just forced to face the wall. Now there's a Molotov burning his toes and a spray from Magisk as well. They are locked out of this A site, Henry. It looks so good.
It was a good flash towards mid. I like the change of pace from Astralis. They haven't won the round yet, but it is looking good for them with the smokes down. Defensive plan coming through, and Maiden makes his way towards the apartments here. Zipex, he's having a little ride on the bike. Just looking towards quad. Orb shots being fired off. They do have kits. They have smokes, incendiaries. They need a pick, though. Magisk set up nicely for a library pick. Glaver the challenge towards the apartments. Maiden smoked out. I think that was his own smoke, so Crystal will open things up here. There is a chance of the CT. He's looking much better now. Glaver and our bullets, and they've actually successfully brought this round back in their favor.
Maiden, another triple kill, back to back.
He's stepping up, isn't he? Those AK-47s, they're working out for them. The Maiden
It's
certainly
no
are.
Krieg.
Yeah, it's not Krieg, but the AKs are. This, I thought the round was done then. Like, he was slightly flashed, but that was a kill for Zen, like, almost certainly. But Maiden saving the day here. And I think that was his smoke as well to get him out of the apartment. So nice work.
Yeah, it's all him. Double digits, and as a stark contrast to everyone else on his team, everyone else practically half of that. Round 10, second map, a second series, third day. Let's see what Device has got with this position. He got himself the Galil and already going to get the top Molotov towards Banana. Sticko's challenge, feeling aggressive for just a moment, burns his toes.
That Molotov normally doesn't land like that. That goes through the window and lands deeper, right? So it's like dissuades people from even trying to push a cross boiler. That landing like that, I don't think Sticko is ready for it. You saw him, he pedals into it and he goes, oh, hold up a second, I can't even fight here if I want to.
Yeah, filled the whole bedroom. I've seen a few more teams experimenting with this logs boost now, given the short half wall smoke that's been showing up much more. Doesn't seem to be giving them too much of a vantage point, but just that edge.
So, look, if I'm Astralis right now, as soon as this smoke clears, I set up for a BXQ. I clear top Banana, I set up for a BXQ, because the way that GODSENT are playing, they don't have any map control. You saw me speak about this earlier in the tournament. They have one guy spotting top mid from arch side, but that's the most easy place to get pushed off of.
So we have either a double nade set up or a Molotov. It looks like double nades towards coffins potentially. Look at Crystal's HP in a second. So he's spamming there. The nades will be coming in momentarily to his position. I hope at least, otherwise I built this up completely wrong. It looks to be the case. So you can see quite a technical lineup coming in here. Please throw him.
Please.
Come on.
Pretty please.
What's the Glaive? Is this for that? Is this for the boost?
Oh,
spot?
it's the CT boost ones. Yes, okay, off the
Cool
wall.
idea, but no one there, unfortunately.
Still, good chance. Zen flashed off, but so's Dupree, tucks in on Pool. Crystal aggressive on the coffins, and no one else could come through. The floor laden with flame.
10
now
seconds.
They're on their way in, and it's going to be 1v1s. This is the dream outcome for GODSENT, and it looks like Astralis, they're just going to cut their losses.
They have to. They were hoping that nade sequence would lead them to an opening frag, but I don't even know what to make of that.
Ents, of course, playing next. We will be seeing
hot match.
Ents in the
What
hot match.
Talking about nades. The amount of time it took them to line those grenades up, I think, was the problem. Glaive was bugging around for what it looked like 20 seconds. I'm not sure they're waiting for their perfect opportunity or the smokes to go down. It looked like he was lining it up, to be honest with you. In the past 6 months, it's been their worst map. They haven't played a lot this year. I think they've only played it twice in 2020. So it's a stat that doesn't hold that much weight to it. But yes, it hasn't been an amazing few months.
Yes, second worst map in the last 6 months, but they still had 8 wins to 12 played. That's to be a second worst map with 8 wins. That's pretty ridiculous.
Well, Sticko, you're in trouble, my friend. Down towards the bench he will go, and this is where The CZ will come out on top. Zen
Yikes.
tries to strike from the bedroom, but instead he's sent to bed. We are going to have ourselves in a 4-on-2. Maiden and Michael will be holding towards the A side of the map. His Maiden transitions over. Bit of a gamble, I suppose. Michael can win this. That's a little bit cavalier from the Astralis boys, but they have managed to stick the landing. Maiden will be left another 3 versus 1. He can win these. He's an opening, and there it is. He's sick, isn't he?
He is a robot. Sad to see another point of his health tick away on that incendiary, but this is Dupree's angle. He can't mess that one up. A 7th now for Astralis on their T-side affair.
Yeah.
That's
GODSENT,
enough.
Plenty of cash, though.
Well, you'd say that's more than enough for a T-side. If I was calling right now as the in-game leader and we had 7 T-sided rounds,
okay,
you're laughing.
So what you saying now? You're going a bit more like kind of loosey-goosey, go to the back pages?
You go for 11-4, right? But realistically, this is a half that you should be winning, right? Or a map that you should be winning with 7 T rounds. There have been obviously some teams who get massive T holes. They put in these really crazy halves, but I would be happy with 7. 7's pretty good. That's winning the half at least.
Is it?
Oh, sorry, no. It's, well, on the T side.
On the T side,
it'd be a victory in my mind.
Yeah, we're learning Counter-Strike.
Color by numbers.
Color by numbers. Forgot about that.
This is a technical pause, I believe.
Okay. Should we do something fun in technical pauses?
What would you like to do? I haven't got anything prepared fun necessarily. Actually, maybe quizzes or something like that.
Well, so you know how the US Air Force sponsors our technical timeouts?
Sure.
Well, this is a tactical... let me
Sorry,
get it right.
Yep, go on.
Tactical timeouts by US Air Force.
Yep.
We need a technical one. I'm just brainstorming for the marketing department.
Could be the Globally Offensive Podcast Technical Timeout.
Oh, yeah. What do we give them?
Available on all...
do you think we lose our jobs if we just make it that? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the technical timeout brought to you by
I don't think it would go down well. I think
There'll be an email.
There'll
be an email.
A meeting or an email, maybe a message, I think, but an unofficial... podcast. Available now, so check it out. If you like this, go download it. If you hate it, probably don't.
Yeah, not for you.
We don't even talk about Counter-Strike during that, but we are having a similar problem as what we experience on LAN right now, a TeamSpeak issue.
How does that happen online of all places?
There's probably lots of things, Henry.
I've never had one in the last 5 years, I reckon.
But you play games with me a lot, and you know I've really struggled to get anything working. I can't even get Discord to work.
We can't even use Discord if Chad's...
Let's not bring that one up. That's always a point of contention.
It'd be really nice if we could use Discord, but we're not allowed.
The amount of times we have to go like, all right, guys, so this is the TeamSpeak IP. I'll message it to you. Why are we moving? Chad's playing. Molotov straight towards the top of Banana. We're back into the fray. Thank you for your patience. And the double AWPs already have seen a lot of action. Maiden's lost most of his health.
Yeah. Crystal, a good nade, though. Well, actually, not that good. No damage inflicted. It was a nice try, I suppose.
Nice spin.
Yeah, good spin on it. Smoke down. Could try and cross over to the corner here.
There's a massive gap there if he gets a little bit more aggressive, right? Towards the bottom of that smoke, there was a gap. Yeah, just on the... for Meg, it's going to be the right-hand side, but for Maiden, it's the left. There's a tiny little gap there.
He's ready for it. Well, either way, back towards the coffins he goes. Very vulnerable, of course. Grenades will take him down. Dropping his smoke. A lineup for you there at home. That's going to be both mouse buttons clicked. And unfortunately for Maiden, he broke the smoke. At least he got it down, but he will be removed.
He's been the shining light for GODSENT so far in this map. So unfortunately for them, they now have to battle in a 4-on-5 scenario as Astralis to reconsider their options, making their way back down Banana and congregating towards the top of middle.
Nice little smoke for the cross. Stops the library line. Sticko on the balcony, about to be tested in a very big way. He can't even get the first. Device continues. That's going to be another for him. 2 in the round before he's silenced. And now with just Crystal and Makalele, they're on B.
Save.
And they're just talking about round 13.
Bit of a mauling here, boys.
So when you're the B players and that goes down, what you hear echoed probably from your coach or in-game leader would be, it's not very exciting when you hear this. It's not only very monotone as well, but it's along the lines of save.
That's all you can do.
Just
really.
hear save.
Save.
Just save.
Save.
Just
We
save.
tried your best. That was unfortunate. Maiden going for the double orb setup there just to mix things up. You kind of have to at this point, right? Like, not much is working for them. He gets taken down to 15 HP, dropped a decent smoke, but unfortunately when the smoke's dropped, enables him to actually spam bullets towards the coffins, which are very spammable, of course. One bullet hits his general direction, and he goes down. So, yeah, nice idea to get the smoke down, but ultimately led to his demise. But they saved both the orbs. Crystal is a pretty decent orb player himself, if I'm not mistaken.
He used to dabble.
He used to dabble quite a lot, way back in the day.
The ESL Meisterschaft days, he was...
Even further back than that.
He was fragging.
Yeah. He used to be a
He was a
source
source
boy as
player,
well.
yeah.
I used to play against him a lot. And was an Orpy boy.
He's got the same haircut as Frozen.
He does, you're right.
Yeah, they've both got the same kind of like, you know, if they were Lego men, you could just take one off, put it on the other one, it would look the same.
Double orbs, and they haven't really invested much around it. Oh, Makalele, good lord. There's a lot of damage done to Crystal, luckily not so much to the Orpa.
Felt like a huge risk considering it's
Yeah.
the only two weapons you have brought into play. Admittedly, you've got to bring the fight to Astralis in a case like this. It looks like the nade did. But now Dupree, considering his options, Maiden, he's in a bit of an off angle at this point.
Dupree definitely heard the scope.
Sweeping in for a chance. The pre-fire, the brutal, but he still stands his ground. The trade comes in.
Big trade at that. Remember, they only have two primary weapons here. One of them is now removed. A powerful one at that, the AWP taken out of the grasp of Maiden, and he's been the only player stepping up for them, to be honest. He saved them in 2 rounds so far. And in terms of the A defense, we've got one player in the pit, that's Sticker with the Desert Eagle. We'll have to do something remarkable here. Gives us position, waiting for the preemptive Molotov. And I think that's... now we didn't have a bit of a one-way smoke. It does work out in that manner, but still, I don't think they'll be committing anytime soon. Zen will be removed. Crystal rotates in. Remember, he's already been wrecked down to 28 HP.
Astralis really don't have to rush this.
I like this Astralis here. I look quite loose out there, but it looks like they're enjoying themselves, you know? Like, it's everyone's kind of going together. They're actually being a bit more aggressive than usual, going past lines they wouldn't usually go through. And I think that's the point, Chad, you made earlier. The fact we're online and they have the way the opposition are going to play, they need to play at that level as well.
Fight fire with fire. To summarize, and, well, not sure what Stico's going to be able to do now. If there is more fire, because he got rid of his smoke. He has repositioned.
10 seconds here. Should be fine now, but there was a chance that crossfire could have sabotaged everything.
It's just funny that he is the one that plants the bomb as well. It's like he's just doing it all. Like, all right, come on then.
I'll kill the one who plant the bomb. How about that? We'll wait till 10
Perfect.
seconds and see if we can make it hard. Yeah, that's pretty easy, actually.
Yeah, no issues. Dirt off their shoulder, 9 now for Astralis. And it does seem like GODSENT's chances are dwindling. Consider that the T side for them is up next, attacking into the Astralis Inferno CT side, which is, as we discussed in the pre-match, somewhat of a trendsetter. Educating the masses as to the power of utility. Well, you keep your eye. I'm actually going to make sure I take a screenshot of utility damage before we head to Astralis' CT side.
Zipex. A brutal round there, and a brutal score line. 9-4 on the T side. Astralis looking very comfortable. Another full buy for the CTs, though. Just a single orb this time. Here are the scores so far. Good team effort from Astralis. Not so bad from GODSENT. It's not like anyone's necessarily missing. It's just Maiden's the only one really stepping up. We'll see with round 14. We'll lead them to a couple more. Definitely need these last 2 rounds to see if they stand a chance. The grenades land on Maiden. He'll do well to get a kill here, which he does. 24 HP. Still needs to get away from this, but Magus will have his number.
Yeah, this banana control that's been coming on in as Stico had an opportunity there, but that'll go missing. The banana control for Astralis has been very good. There only really was that one hiccup, right, where Crystal was pushed on through and he went undetected. When they get to this point, though, Astralis, when they try and next go into this B bomb site, they've been locked on out in quite a few rounds. I think the majority of their success has come more towards that A bomb site. So let's see. Oh, there you go. This should be it.
Just waiting for him.
Let's walk on into my crosshair.
So Makalele now, he'll have to go back towards A alone. He's surrounded at this point. There was a chance for a nice shot there, but unfortunately, a bullet to the dome will take him out of the equation. Crystal left with just the M4 on the other side of the map, essentially, as the bomb gets planted towards A. He has one flash and no real chance, but I guess he kind of has to go for this. At least recover an orb.
Something, at least, to encourage and entice his team to find their 5th in the next and final round of play. Looks to jump away and pulls the pin as Dupree pulls the trigger. that will be another one then. Clean and tidy, 3 players, still hearts beating for Astralis at the end of that one. Last round of the half then. GODSENT coach Devil Walk as the former major champion. If you didn't know, nice little fun fact for you. He won the very first major of Counter-Strike way back in 2014. And something I didn't know that my lovely colleagues told me, he also pulled down his trousers in celebration.
That was incorrect. Sorry to David. I need to go do your homework a little bit more. Fnatic won the first major in 2013. It was at DreamHack Winter in Jönköping, and I was sitting in the front row.
Well, this is what happens.
Were you a spectator at the event, or you?
I was playing within the BYOC to try and qualify for the major. Our owner of the team put us in the main hall. For those who have ever been to DreamHack Winter, it's a rave. Yeah.
That's a nightmare.
They put you in the main DreamHack
so we could
hall.
experience it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, it's one that's a lifetime opportunity.
So you got like the spectators standing behind you while you play. Everyone's like just there making music. They've got lights on. This is the final round of the half, and unfortunately, it wasn't a very exciting one. Crystal might be able to pull this one off. That was the chance, but unfortunately, it won't work out for him. It is going to be 11-4 at half. GODSENT's days are numbered here in this series so far. It's going to be Vertigo going against him, and quite possibly Inferno as well. We'll see what they can do after this very quick break.
To make a miracle.
Someone on production.
And they murdered the franchise. Apparently, the last movie was absolute garbage.
It was okay.
Was it really?
The other ones were offensive. Like, and if everything since 2, like, there was like 3 or 4, they were really bad. This was the first one that was actually, like, not... Like,
it felt like it got to the point where it's like, oh, this is Sarah Connor's cousin's mum's second removed. And now, does seem like Dupree's confirmed it and removed Crystal from the game as well. So, Astralis, they do pick up the necessary component to the fast finish that we were alluding to.
This is the Dupree I want to see. The one who's lopping heads, confident Counter-Strike, getting involved, getting in the nitty-gritty. I would always talk about him from the desk perspective as when a game turns a little bit more brawly, he's the individual I look to step up the most within this team. Now, in the realms of online Counter-Strike, you are going to have a little bit more of that, a little bit more maybe unfounded confidence from people who would be afraid of you on LAN. So here you have to play with a little bit
swagger,
less respect, and yeah, a bit of swagger in your back pocket as well. So a bunch of grenades here have come on out for this T side, and they have a huge amount of members through alt middle. Henry, would you say they might try and grenade this pit position here?
That could be a possibility with the HE grenades they have in the mid control they are obtaining. We'll see. They're going to try and get the smoke down towards Arch. I think you might be onto something here, Chad. Incendiary to just slow them down. That hurts a little bit, just tickles them towards middle.
There's no one there, though. Oh, do it. If you nade that, if you round the corner with nades in your hand, Dupree will kill all of them.
Wow. Nice combination from the double Ds, and they are just going to massacre another 2 into the site. Zen does find the head of Dupree to finally take that spray away. Sticker, however, paid quite the price for his exchange initially. Only one really healthy member left. It's Zen with 2 so far.
You see Mages there, though, just buying time. Didn't commit to that fight necessarily, but this is a big frag. Zipex will find the bomb, unfortunately. Sticker left with 22 HP. Desert Eagle in hand and 7 kills to his name. He's going to have to take that number up by a couple. He's not going to even have a chance. Astralis there, fending off the Deagles, no problem. Money is in the proverbial bin, and we'll find ourselves with just PT50s maybe in round number 18, I think. Not much more. You can't even really justify Deagles when you got about $2,000.
Yeah, brutal. That second round forced by at the state of affairs they're currently standing at does mean pride to be swallowed in the next. Maybe some nades too.
Again. Where are they going to, I guess, just chuck them at the top of B? Might be because they're being so aggressive. Just chuck them up towards the barrels. I think that's all you can do. We'll see. Not even that. Have they deployed them yet? They're waiting for another opportunity to get them down towards pit, or maybe coffins themselves. Time will tell. But aggressive, of course. Oh, the nades.
Oh, where did the help just go?
I don't know, but that was towards B. That's, I think it was a double nade combo, and now we're left in a 3-on-2. Michael Ellie and Sticko holding on for dear life at this point.
I've played games like this. It's not a fun feeling. My God, just sitting there now with 63 points of health and a Desert Eagle, wondering where it all went wrong. Holding the push for now from underpass, cowering in fear of the 2 prongs of this Astralis defense. It's going to be Device and Zipex just closing down on his position. Now Sticko with just 3 health doesn't really stand much of a chance of doing much. Maybe even saving his weapon could be difficult at this point.
Saving the MP9.
On the T side, good point, good
no
point.
money.
Excuse me.
It wouldn't be the most lucrative decision, but we'll see what he can...
Looking to die, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe, because he gets maximum loss bonus next round, so we will be dying, and we'll get ourselves a 14-4 scoreline. I wish I could romanticize this a little bit more and say there's a chance they get back into it.
There's always a chance, Henry.
There we go.
There's
Chad's
always a
still
chance.
Here. Chad's still here.
This is the moment. The GODSENT on the gun round on the T side. They step on up. They give it their all, and they bring it back against Astralis. Makalele bringing out the big green. Can he do it?
4 kills to his name, 13 deaths, no armor, but this could be it. We'll see what he can do. It's not going to be an easy round, but smooth seas doesn't make good sailors. That's what they say, and we'll find out if he can step up.
Stealing that one. Love that.
Glaive, aggressive, of course, and Maiden will punish him. So you can see them overstepping the mark a little bit. And for now, an opening kill.
And Zipex could have got caught out and just walked straight into Maiden's crosshairs. He's done it again. The star of GODSENT has given them an advantage, and Crystal can seize it. Takes the last frag, and that should be the round just like that, because Magisk is left to his own devices. He is just miles away. A chance perhaps to find Sticko on his prowl of apartments, but yeah. This will be GODSENT, and thank you, Maiden.
I'm glad my hype was not in vain. You know,
he got a kill.
Otherwise, it would have ended up quite poorly.
No, that one landed. But to be fair, this is where Astralis, you could see it a bit there. They're having some fun out there. That like absolutely fine with that because they're having such a great game. But lots of solo challenges. And
Check
we've got a
this
Chad
out, guys.
Birchall
Check
moment.
this out. All right, hold on. I'm going to try this new animation thing I've been playing around with, and this was that
Okay.
grenade that we saw do damage. So I'm going to play this out. We're going to see the players at top of banana. They're getting control. Look at this nice little animated camera.
It's like a modern-day
And then this
Rushley.
grenade here, you're going to see it. It leaves the hands, and then all the damage on these players here behind the smoke. And that'll be the end of my...
And just to note as well, they had 4 HEs. They were planning on nading
Yeah.
the top of B. So it was a nade battle going on behind smokes. No one knew what was on either side. But about, I think it was like 300 damage
Pretty
inflicted
significant.
with 2 grenades towards the bottom of B there.
What do you make of the animation?
I liked it.
I loved
it was
it. I loved
smooth
your work,
transition.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep working on it. I'll
Yeah.
keep playing around with my bits and pieces.
Back in my day of media production, Bachelor of Science,
Sure.
we'd call what you just did keyframing. You probably added 2 or 3
Yeah,
keyframes
that's
of
right.
where you'd like the camera to start and stop. Oh, God. I remember keyframes, Adobe After Effects. Those were the days. Instead, I just talk now. I'm just a modern-day jester.
Yeah, much easier now, though, isn't it?
Certainly easier. I'm not complaining. 0 complaints from that. As the nades do fly in, and again, success on both sides. Everyone's just bleeding internally, unable to escape. Backing away now. Zipex is doing his very best, trying to perhaps fake the retreat because his teammate was standing the ground. Now the Molotov forces Glaive forward, and he's the healthy one. They've sent in.
I do like this sort of play sometimes when you get behind the barrels and they would just assume, of course, they've fallen back. And Glaive, happy to hover around here, looking for series points. Around 20 here. Bomb down towards the bottom of B. Difficult position Glaive's in to make it work. With the flashbang for your teammates to set himself up. And he got the setup there, but didn't connect the bullet to Crystal, who was low. That was a guaranteed frag for him. Didn't work out. Still a chance here for Astralis in the 5-on-4. Smoke down towards the CT spawn position. Mage is behind the fountain right now. He saw that incendiary. A sneak peek of what's to come potentially. He wants to drop that any second if he can. Wants the first kill. Not going to happen. Maiden just too sharp for him as he gets his 17. It's Zipex with the 5-7. Gets flashed by his own teammate. That's Maiden. And in they go. They've gone past each other like ships in the night.
Oh, no.
Lots of nautical references today.
Yeah.
And I think that it's going to save.
Works out for Zipex in the end. Able to keep hold of that Kevlar and helmet.
I was wondering if while we had this downtime, if our lovely observer could bring up the scoreboard and have a look at the utility damage tab for us there, because we have been seeing quite a few grenades going back and forth here. Oh, nothing.
300 for Zipex.
Yeah, nothing crazy other than Zipex, I suppose.
200 for Crystal, the
yeah.
leader of GODSENT.
So that's pretty high. Like it seems relatively high across the board, right? We're talking about a lot of utility damage being done.
Is that nearly 80% headshot ratio for an AWPer? That's rare.
Wait, Zipex has 15 effective flashes thus far and 18 for Crystal.
Yo.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Well, there we have it. I feel like we should be bringing more of those stats into our broadcast, especially the flashbang stuff and the utility damage. We definitely nod to it sometimes, but I feel like the effective flashes, especially, like that's a massive one. If you're getting like 20 like effective flashes and a half, like that can be insane. That could be a difference maker, right?
Yeah, no, certainly. And it helps you identify the other contributions a player can make other than bullets to heads.
Oh, he turned from the flashbangs. The Crystal was a low HP player. Did you see that? So he was the one actually turning away, snaps back, and takes down the aggressing player. So he actually saved the day on low HP. He saw the flash coming. He was aware of it.
It's an all-in right now from Astralis. They've actually invested.
They've had
once
enough,
more.
haven't they? They're just like, you know what, let's just end it. They saved 2 and 4s to be fair, so
Yeah.
I guess that's what they're banking on. The old device smoke.
Oh,
It will lead to a kill. That's a 4-on-4. They can get a rifle, I believe. Zipex will get that.
seems weird to see Kriegs.
It's true. We didn't see
God.
any in the first half. Sticking to their game plan. So, could be the final couple of rounds here. Stick around, though, because we do have a Vitality versus Ents as a hot match of the day. And have a best-of-3 series with the Goonies coming in. And they are just arriving on site now. The limo just pulled up, I believe. So that'll be cool to see them arrive.
Yeah.
We'll bring Trace in the studio momentarily. But for now, Michael Ailey will be finding yet another orb kill. That's going to be a 4 versus 3. Remember, this is the 4 spy from Astralis. Trying to close things out quickly, but Sticko's got a pretty much guaranteed frag here. There it is. Lovely work. Vex caught out of position to be taken care of momentarily.
Did I just hear an audible tut from you there, Chad?
Yeah,
I did, didn't I?
you did.
Yeah.
It's just like, I know the frustration that Zipex just felt. Like, his teammates just died. He's got the information, like, of what's gone down. He's gone, well, there's probably no one here. And they've walked on in and he stepped on out. Not
Sees 2.
Crosshair's not ready. He's not
Yeah.
ready. It's like, oh, man. this is the thing with the modern game of Counter-Strike, right? And when we have players on for interviews and I ask this question, maybe I'm not structuring the question correctly, but Counter-Strike now is so much more unforgiving than it ever has been because we're looking at almost every single round of the game being winnable. We're talking about every single corner you round, you have to be ready to take that duel, right? This game has gotten to the point where back in Henry and my day, we could just run around. You know, you'd have a lot more liberties given to you. People would let you make mistakes, or you could get away with making a lot more glaring mistakes. These days, you have to be so tight in your approach to this game. Now, look, the scoreline is 14-7. If I'm Astralis, I'm probably taking a couple more risks. I'm not maybe at 100% focused right now. 2 or 3 more rounds on the board, and then my mindset will start to change.
Yeah, certainly.
Scouts and USPs. Device investing a little heavier with the Deagle and armor. But that's about it. But as Chad said, these rounds, they can actually work. 5 USPs can work sometimes. Like once the tournament, you'll see that go down.
Yeah, well, when you've got Zywo on your team, that tends to happen.
That's a good point. So what's the play? They're going for the B execution from what I can see, and they're running into a B stack. Oh, this will be a hell of a shot. That's sick, the Device. I like that a lot. That was stylish.
That looked so...
That was swaggy.
So good. Satisfying.
Oh, they're in trouble here, boys. The grenades
no.
and scouts are landing. It's happening. They don't really have much information to fall back on, and they're losing players left and right. It's going to be the eco victory. Here it comes, Michael, and it all started with a 1D towards the bridge, and it sends them in towards the B bomb side, where Astralis have a full stack there. Unbelievable scenes.
I want to kind of comprehend that, how we just watched that go down. Let's watch it from Dupree's POV, because he got 2 kills here, so they're all looking at the boost. But it was only a USP. Do you think that was also part of the communication? Is they're boosting him not for kills, not for surprise, but hoping that as they push him pull, they're drawing attention to the boosted player?
Either way, it worked tremendously well.
It certainly did.
Just to note as well, the reason they have to go B there as well, because they've lost that player in bridge, they have no idea what flanks are coming in. They've been locked into B, so they're trying to react before that flank comes in, and obviously didn't work out for them. The B stack comes through, and we've got series point made, and you're in a lot of trouble to get 1 kill before going down. That would be great. The top fragger for GODSENT has been removed. Crystal on 75 points of health as well. A decent grenade thrown in. Molotov follows it up. He sits in the smoke for now as Glaive waits on the other side. Just desperate to close this one out. He's had enough. 5 on 4. Crystal just have to walk in towards the side here. It was a nice idea. I see what he's getting out there, hearing the footsteps back towards the side, but unfortunately, Krieg ready and waiting.
Yeah, that's Zipex CT Krieg. He's happy to take him when he gets them, despite not giving any to the GODSENT CT side. When Zonic said it's 2018 Astralis, I didn't realize he meant with weapons that they use as well.
Yeah, we're not using any of the weapons in 2018. Oh, goodness gracious, what a shot at the end. Yeah, you're right, that's a very good point. But it's going to be Astralis with a 2-0 convincing victory there. Not the matchup I was looking for. I thought GODSENT would bring a lot more to the table today. I didn't really see much more of the innovation apart from that good boost towards Vertigo. On their map pick, this got blown out the water. Left, right, and center. Crystal had his moments, but no one really stepping up for GODSENT today. Astralis back to their old selves.